Oji River Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, it's my pleasure to contribute to this act, to this bill for an act to repeal the National Minimum Wage Act of 1981. It presupposes that the last time the act was attended to, amended, or addressed, or came into place was 1981. It is auspicious that we are discussing that today. Ordinarily, my belief is that the bill should have been here earlier, because we all know the present challenges we have with regard to the national elections that are coming into place. This idea of trying to ambush the legislature, like the budget, creates the impression that we are not ready to address the matter of this bill. But I believe that in spite of the fact that we might be going for the elections, members should be able to address this matter so that we come to a conclusion with regard to it. Well, there have been views with regard to the adequacy of 27,000 naira. Ordinarily, looking at our circumstances today, our economic situation, it will be preposterous to say that it is adequate. It is not. But it is not possible to shave a man in his absence. It is when it goes to the committee level, it will be important to get the states to make input with regard to this. Mr. Speaker, everything is wrong in a federating unit. When you have the federal government have to bail out states. Bail them out for what? To pay salaries. It's completely out of place. You don't need to do it. If you had occasion or circumstance to bail out states, what gives you the impression that they can pay even the 27,000? When, as we are discussing, states are still owing salaries. Is it a matter of the money they are getting is not enough? Or is it because the management of the funds is not being properly taken care of by the states? These are matters that are very, very germane. Nobody should be in a federating unit and somebody dashes you money. Nobody should beg for it. So if the revenue sharing formula is not adequate, if the states are not productive enough, these are things that are material to the sustainability of a minimum wage. And the minimum is minimum. We should not forget that this minimum wage of 27 or 30,000, that we need to build on it with regard to other allowances. So it is important and critical that we look at what are the imperfections of this union that is making it impossible that almost 80% of the states are not even able to pay the 18 that is presently in place. It's abnormal. So we need to do what is sustainable. Then, I do not like the idea and the drama that occasions minimum wage. Each time it is a struggle. Why must it be a battle that the Nigerian worker has to win to review a minimum wage? These are reviewed in timely fashion, in a structured fashion, in other jurisdictions. Why must our own be a struggle, a battle we have to win every other day? There has to be an adequate legal framework as we consider this bill to repeal the 1981 Minimum Wage Act and bring forth the one for 2019. There must have to be a way. By the next 5 years, it comes into place by operation of law. It doesn't have to be at the whims and caprices of anybody. Minimum wage is minimum wage. It should not be a Christmas surprise. It should not be a surprise that, oh, suddenly government wakes up, workers are agitating and all that. That is the drama that when you now approve this, because it's not structured and it doesn't come with the fluxion of time. By the time you say, oh, minimum wage is approved, you have rice prices double. You have car transportation double. You have everything on earth, even when they are not material to living conditions, they will just all double because somebody has said that minimum wage has been increased. So I think the law that we are proposing should take care of that. Then, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the greatest threat to the minimum wage or living condition of the Nigerian is not how much you pay. It's the fact that it may not be available when you need it. It's the fact that fiscal policy changes of government have no science to it. If President Shehu Shagari could do 180 naira, which would have been $180, the minimum wage of the Nigerian today, how much is it? We are actually trying to restitute the Nigerian worker as at 2015. Because the fiscal policy change by government, where the dollar had to collapse by almost 100%, means that you will ordinarily be earning what you were earning in real terms. So fiscal policy changes by government, whether it is a prime lending rate, whether it is exchange rate, there are matters material to whether this wage is sustainable or not. So I think, whereas we are addressing how much the Nigerian workers earn, the minimum, as per volume, we must make sure we address issues of management that makes the economics of it not realistic for them. Okay. If you have to do this and you have to buy rice 27,000 naira, it means you are using the minimum wage to buy it. So I think it is important that we address the economy and manage it in a way that is sustainable. So, Mr. Speaker, I think that the details will be looked at and fashioned in a way that we can come out with a document that addresses all these our imperfections, whether it is in law or in our behavioral economics. So I support that this bill should pass second reading and that we should be able to address this matter so that the Nigerian worker doesn't have to struggle each and every time he asks for a review of his wage. Thank you and God bless you.